Okay, I'm by myself again. It's 2 o'clock, so everybody wants to go home. All right, I got the, okay, we got the caliper is real tight right up in here. It's close to the left. You can see a little bit of a gap on the right over there. Is there light on yet? No, no light. Yeah, that helps. Okay, so the rotor's a little bit too far to the left right now, so I'm gonna move my wheel over. So I'm gonna put a thicker spacer in here. See how there's a gap in this spacer right now? That's what I'm gonna put in there. And then over here, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do over here. I can put this thin one back in there. If there's enough room, like right now, maybe there might be enough room to put the spacer in there. This is the one I'm gonna put in there. It looks like it might just fit. So if it will, I can use that, but this axle's really hanging out here a long ways too, so if I put that thin one in here, it'll slide over. As long as it doesn't bottom out inside the fork here, we'll be okay, but it's gonna bottom out in the fork here at some point because it's pretty tight. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll see what happens here. If this doesn't work, then I'll have to custom make the spacer. We're trying to use stock parts right now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is pull out this spacer. See if I can get this one in there. Yeah, it's not going to let me get that in there. No, too much. The bike's a little bit too high in the air. Let's see. I need a precision spacer device on the wheel here. There we go. Oh, that works too. Now this thing falls out. That didn't work very well. The wrench just lets the wheel slide around. And we lost the caliper on the other side because that thing slid over. Trying to keep from pulling the caliper off, but alright, ain't gonna work. Pull the caliper. Trying to save time. Didn't work. Okay. Just a little bit too fat. And over here, we're just a little bit too deep. So the axle's sticking through on the other side here, so I'm going to have to do something different than what I got right now. See how the axle's poking through right here? So the washer would have to have a big cup on the back side of it to clear. Obviously there's no cup on that thing. So we need to come up with some kind of a way of fixing that problem. Most of your big fat washers or large diameter washers don't have a hole that big, so it's basically like a big AN washer. But even a 3/4 AN washer I think is bigger than what we need. Definitely looks a lot better with the axle pulled through. So what I need to do is I need to turn the axle down right there, but this whole axle is just way long on this side. Another one of those deals, combination of your parts box is not making it work correctly. Yeah, I don't know. figure it out. Okay, so what are we going to do about this problem? Trying to think of what I got in the way of a washer. So use a 3/4 to clear the axle, but they're not going to fit in the fork. They're way too big in diameter. Yeah. Got these things here. Which one is thicker? There's the thick ones right there. What the hell is that all about? I think these are too big in diameter to fit in here. Yeah, see, they don't fit in the hole. Yep, that plan didn't work. Yeah. Parts just don't match up. What a shocker. What a shocker. How big can we go in diameter? 5/8 is probably too big. Probably the 1/2 inch is about as big as we can go. As big as we can go. So if I countersink that out all the way out, that might fit. So right on the edge of it. All right. Let's see. How are we going to tighten that up? There's the problem right there. See? This needs to be pulled back. It needs to be threaded back and then cut off. That's what needs to be done. So we need to pull it back flush with this right here in the lathe and thread it. Instead of screwing around with the damn thing, that's what needs to be done. And we need a good washer. That's a good washer. Oh, I didn't bring my tripod with me. Okay, tripod. Let's go work. Gotta go make some parts. Maybe we'll get out here before 3. No reason rushing the job. Okay, so back to lathe work. Somebody said they like lathe work. Every day is lathe work around here. Okay. Let's Okay. What you can see on this, but you know, shorten that axle up a little bit. Cut the chamfer away. Clean it up. Way undersized. Okay. It's actually a lot quicker than what I was thinking about doing. Okay, so now you can see I just turned the taper off, went straight to the edge of the taper, went straight in, turned it down to the thread size, and then I re-put the chamfer on the outside so you can poke it through the fork easier in the bearings. So now I'm going to take it, I'm going to thread it, go a little bit deeper with the thread. That way my net can go down as far as I want it to go without bottoming out. So here's our die. This is a crappy ass die. Jeez, what a piece of crap. This is about the worst damn die in the world. Look at this piece of crap. I'm going to flip it over and go the other direction, jam it in that way. Ah. That's definitely not how it's supposed to be dyed. That doesn't matter. It's got threads on there now. Okay, now it's fully threaded all the way in there now. Okay. Okay, it goes all the way on there. Looks like it's supposed to. Okay, quick and easy. We like quick and easy around here. Okay, clean this off. There we go. That's how it should have been made the first time. It only took like 5 minutes, right? Spend more time looking for wash than it actually takes to do the damn job. That's how a lot of things are. Just fix it. It's easier. Okay, so now we're going to figure out what we got to do over here. Let's see here. Get the camera rearranged a little bit here. There we go. Looking for an angle. Here, maybe I won't drop it on the floor and either thing. Here, next, see what I'm doing on this side of the bike. Different angle. Okay. Thin spacer. spacer. Could be this one. Goes all the way in. Okay, now it's not bottomed out like it. Boy, who put this thing like this angle? There we go. Tripod's trying to fall down. So now you look at it, you can see how it's undercut all the way in there now. So now we're going to put a nice heat treated washer instead of this piece of crap thin one they had. Thing's already all buckled up. Crap. This is a nice thick one. Put that on there. Should go in there flat, no problem. Even though it doesn't feel like it's hitting on flat in there. What's it hitting on in there? It's definitely flat in there. Alright, whatever. Something's not feeling too flat. I'm not much for lock washers. And this is a piece of crap nut. We're definitely not be running that damn thing. That thing's a joke. It's good enough for mock-up, but it ain't good enough for using. Can't torque that little thin ass nut. The thing will fall off. Of course that thin washer's got to go too. But we'll see. Okay. Okay. Good. Spins good. Caliper on. Like for me to wrap it better. Perfect. There we go. It's all centered up now. Looks dead nuts on now. So you can see in the rotor there. So the center of the rotor is right up on the caliper there. And those buttons. Right in here is where the button was hitting before. Oop. Yeah, it's hard to see in there. It's not going to let you focus. Oh well. But anyway, it's right in there. Yeah, it won't focus on it. Just chrome screws with it. Anyway, you can see it's in there, it's tight. But it's got clearance. Okay, so we're good on that. The spacing here didn't move any, so we got 2 fingers and 1/8 inch. Actually, we're a little bit to the left right now. Oh, we moved it over, that's right. So we're a little bit off center right now. See, there's 2 fingers, I got that 100 thou gaps, 80 thou. Over here, I'm rubbing slightly, so we're about an 1/8 inch off center right now. Because I put a 60 thou more washer over here, and that's going to move you over, so you double 60 is an 1/8 inch, so we moved it over this far. That's not enough to really worry about, but if we want to, we can move the tire back over. Now to make a Sportster balance, you want the tire to be the left side of the bike, probably about a 1/4 inch at least to make it balance correctly. So I don't know if I want to get into that deeply. We'll see. We'll see how bad the balance of the bike is, because all the weight, there's not much weight on this side of the bike. You get all the primary stuff on this side. The battery, the oil tank, all that stuff's on the left side. So we'll see how that works out. But anyway, now the caliper's on there, it all fits. So we got the 6 piston on there. So it should stop, hopefully. At least that's the game plan. Okay, so there's more parts to add to the parts pile. Keep adding more parts on this bike. More junk parts we're not going to use. Where's my plier? There it is. And we didn't use this spacer. We went back to the thin spacer here, and we went to that one there. So we have to figure out our spacer department here. These are two I just went through, so I think those are two went there. This is the one I put in the bike, and that's the one I took out. So there you go. So that's your thicknesses: 630 or 50, 830, 880, and this was 1 inch. There you go. They're all lined up. I gotta figure out the part numbers. Okay, now for the fender, we're gonna do the Fat Boy fender is kind of where we're leaning. So this one's a custom one. I'm not sure which side is which here. So it looks like I can slide it further forward if I use it this way. Here. So let's see what we're going to do here. We both like it being slightly forward, short on the back, long on the front. That looks pretty good. They got the caliper cut away right there where we need it. It's almost like they made it to be this way. So look at the caliper cutaway up under there, how it's made. So it looks like it's made to be on this application like that. Obviously the whole pattern's way off. Of course right now we're laying on top of the tire too. Gotta get up off the tire. Here's your proper tire clearance, rear belt, 14 millimeter. Here you go. That's plenty. More than you need. Okay, so I'm thinking something like that. I think that looks pretty good right there myself. Looks pretty good. I think it's where I want it to be. Looks pretty good there, I think. So we'll have to take this and cut it way back here like this. So we'll probably weld that hole up and duplicate out as like on the other side here. Get the same kind of profile shape here. We'll do the same thing on this side. Cut this corner away basically. It'll come out like this. We're going to keep the hole there, so we're going to use this metal right here. I'm not going to cut that away, so I got to weld that hole up solid. And the one on the other side I have to weld it up too. I think it looks pretty good about in that spot. We'll see if he likes it there, and if he does, we'll mount it on that thing like that. Back here looks like crap though, but that's where it goes stock. So we'll see if he likes it there. I don't think he's going to like it in that spot. He already looked at it and didn't like it, so I think that's going to be changing his ideas any. Okay, so it looks like that's some 5/16 hardware. 3/4 of an inch long maybe. Oh, the fender didn't fall off. Damn. See if these are long enough. Oh yeah, way long. Yeah, found some lock nuts. Well, not what I want. All right. Make sure it's all the way down. Good. It clears. Okay. Oop. Trying to drop the bike. That bike is off to, it's right on it barely. Turn the handlebars over further. All right. I need to figure out this kickstand over here. Pull this thing over a little bit. There we go. Okay, it's not leaning enough. Okay, kickstand needs to be bent up slightly. Somebody got a little carried away on bending it. I don't know who could possibly have done something like that. So there, and there it is right there. So we need to pull that back up just a little bit. So we're going to flatten it out right here a little bit. Fine tuning. Let me get the bolts open. I got a junk flathead motor in the way. Somebody wants to build one of those things, I don't know why. Big flathead. I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments. Okay, so I'm going to go work on this a little bit over in the press. Get out of my way. Okay, so we're going to basically just take a little bit of bend out of here that we put in earlier. So that just means you flip it over is all that really means. Fine tuning on that also. Alright, custom job. Let's go see if we went enough. Maybe we went too far, you never know. Okay, we'll put this over here. We'll see how far this thing leans over. It's only about an inch off the ground right now, so it's pretty not much leaning. And just a tick more. Bike's leaning slightly right on the stand here, but when I bent this end back over here, it took away some of what I was trying to gain. So it kind of screwed it up a little bit. I'm going to come back over here and do it again. At some point we'll get the right number. Because we don't know what we need. We just know we don't like what we have. That's half the battle. Knowing you don't like what you have. A lot of that's springing back there, so it's hard to tell how much I really have. So there's the angle right now that we're using. Alright. Just keep going a little bit at a time. Eventually we'll get what we want. Hopefully. Not gaining much. And we're in the air on both wheels right now, so. For me, it's right where I like them, but customers like their bikes to lean a little bit more so you can park them on the hills and not have them fall down. I'll give it just one more hit as well on the press. Alright. Alright, we got another ½ inch more height on our kickstand now. That should give me what I want. There we go. And it's sitting pretty flat on the kickstand, which is good. See how it's laying on the pad down there. See how it's laying pretty flat on the pad. That way, it's when you're on the ground, you're stuck on a nice flat part. It's not going to dig into the ground or dirt or anything soft. You'll be fine. Now right now our wheels are in the air a little bit under here on both ends. So the bike will not quite lean this far when it's on the ground, but it's be pretty close. So we can always fine tune that a little bit more if we need it. So anyway, that's how you just play around them a little bit. Doesn't take much. So anyway, it's starting to look like a bike again. So anyway, that's where we're at for tonight. Yeah, it's 2:30 now, so there you go. All right, so we got a lot of stuff figured out, but we got a lot more to do yet. So next thing to do is figure out the suspension travel in the back, get that figured out. See what we're gonna do on the fender in the back, do that, and play with the oil tank a little bit. It's a little bit too far forward right now. Right now, it's gonna hit the exhaust right through here. Being a CR, it'd probably clear if it's be really tight, but right up next to the motor. And we got a big gap here, so I'm gonna modify the mounts over there. I'll probably rise it up a little bit higher. That way it sits up nice cleaner. And then this here, I'll bend this back, and I can always play with this height. I can bend this thing way up, straight up and down if I want, get it way up in there. We're not using this bracket out here anymore, so I can play with it a little bit. So we're definitely gonna play with that a little bit right there. And then we gotta figure out the rear fender situation, what's gonna happen back there. The tire right now is tight, so like I said, this is gonna have to be shaved to make it work, but what do you got? You got a 160 tire on a stock swing arm. What do you want? It's pretty big for an old bike to have a 130 on it with a narrow rim, so overall it's pretty good. All right, that's it for tonight. We're going to go work on some other projects. Maybe work on my race bike again a little bit, but not today. We're done for now.